this particular class, we're going to really focus on the fact that movement matters. So that's my theme, movement matters. And what does that even mean? I want to give you a little quote from this fellow Ben Metter. He's kind of a human movement specialist. He actually teaches people how to climb trees and stuff in the UK. It's just amazing. He's fun to look at on social media. But he's done a lot of research into human movement and the types of movement that's really nutritious for human beings and whatnot. And here's what he says. The body contributes far more to our lives than just physical attributes, such as strength and endurance. It plays a major role in emotions, learning, and relationships. The body is intimately involved in all our thought processes, understanding, emotions, and decision-making. The mind and body are inseparable, from our endocrine system to the brain in our gut. The body is your brain. And that really is powerful to me, because I sort of myself see mind, body, spirit as, part of the same continuum, just existing at different levels of vibration, basically. So, when we tend to the body like we'll be doing, you'll find that the body is going to evolve and change, because we're designed to heal and adapt to the way we use our body and the kind of stimulus we give it. This is also going to give your brain, your emotional centers, and your psyche stimulation as well. So you'll be kind of evolving on a number of levels. So one thing that I want to really encourage you to do is be really kind to yourself, even when we're exploring some of our edges, and you will feel some fatigue for sure, and maybe at times something that feels like a bit of discomfort. Discomfort in the joints is non-negotiable. We don't want to go there. But you might feel like some muscle fatigue or some fascial tensioning and things like that. And that's really good. So we want to come to know what feels like a good kind of productive kind of sensation in the body, and what feels kind of sketchy or maybe should move out of that position a little bit. And I'm really happy to help you with that. We can tease out some of these things after class, anytime, and whatnot. So, okay, so let's just embark on this particular practice with an enjoyment of movement and the movements that our body can do, and just understanding that your body will always be able to respond to what you request of it. You're always going to be able to learn new skills and be able to develop your capacities, because that's what your body's able to do. That's what it's designed to do. So we're going to be acting in accordance with the body's design. Now, for those of you who this is your first class, you'll probably notice in the things that I've sent you already, if you've opened those emails, there is a living document that's part of it. So I'm adding to this document here. At the end, I'll PDF it. So that just means that I will probably be making changes and stuff. I'm very particular about how I express things, and I do change my mind sometimes. But at the end, you'll probably have about a 22-page manual to print off if you want to have that to keep. And then there's the self-assessment tool, which either later today or tomorrow, I'm going to make a video just going into a description of each of these self-assessment things that you can do. They're optional, and as I said in my email, they are not for beating yourself up or something like that. They are for just seeing where you're at right now, because probably during this 8-week series, you'll see some evolution in those particular self-assessment things. Okay, and I think that'll be really rewarding and fun for you if you decide to do that. Okay, so perhaps enough said. Let's get moving. Let's begin with eyes closed and just sitting nice and tall. So I know I've been, talking, so I'm going to stop talking for a few moments, and we'll just go into our breath. Sit up regally in your body, lifting your heart and your crown. Breathe. And just gently, breath by breath, pull your attention and awareness inside. Observing the comfort of your breath, perhaps tuning into the movement of your diaphragm and just sort of the level of allowing that you might have in your body right now. And then with a sense of gratitude and love, hold the space for your body to explore, to test itself today, to communicate with you. And we'll just maintain a stance of openness and receptivity toward what we're feeling and sensing in our body today, as we just come to know the body better and start, this opening of the lines of communication so that we can expand. All right, so you can draw your attention to whatever it is that is your very particular personal reason for practice. And then we'll together take the mantra Om one time to begin. So let's all take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Big sigh out your mouth. Inhale. Oh, oh, my Om's gone. Oh. Beautiful. All right, let's allow our eyes to fall open. We're going to come into table pose. So let's just bring our body into this very simple pose for the purpose of understanding the hand-to-core connection. So we're going to spread our fingers open wide. We're rooting down into the pads of the fingers. As you press down into the pads of your fingers, you're going to energize through the hand across the wrist and elbow into the shoulders as though you're dialing the hands away from each other. Notice your head position. If your head is hanging down, let's just try to keep the neck and head in a more neutral plane. And then just press down into your palms and dial your hands away from each other. So as you do this, you should feel some tensioning across the wrist, through the forearm, across the elbow, and into the muscles around your shoulder blade and onto the core of your body. Good. Now let's just turn it off for a sec. If we were to spin the hands inward toward each other, notice that you would probably activate neck muscles quite a lot more. Now let's spin outward again. You're going to feel those muscles lower around your scapula are turning on and the muscles throughout. So we're contracting muscles to tension our fascia. The fascia is going to stabilize all our wrists for us, okay? So we'll be doing lots of testing with that. So let's just turn that on just to the degree that we need to maintain this position right now, and we'll think about the feet. So with the feet, you have your toes pointed back. You're going to press down into the top surfaces of your feet. Try to do that a lot. If you have feet where or ankles rather, that don't want to straighten into plantar flexion like that, you can always keep your toes tucked. That would be totally fine to do here, okay? But if you want, your toes are pointed back, you're pressing down into the top surface of your feet. As you press down, you're gonna notice that activates your legs, and you'll probably feel a little response in your belly. That's what you want to feel. So now, press into your palms and your finger pads, dial the hands away from each other. Press, 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 press into your feet, and you'll notice that everything comes together behind the navel in front of the spine. So turn it on really firmly and let it go. See how your pelvis wants to drop down? Your belly will want to drop down. Let's do it again, okay? Press into the hands, dial the hands away from each other, press into the feet. Oh, the belly lifts. It's a good thing to know about how your body operates, okay? So let's just keep it in a fairly neutral position. We're going to shift forward and back. So I want you to see that you can move and activate at the same time. Keep dialing your hands away from each other, revving forward and back. Keep pressing into the top surfaces of your feet and notice the tone at the belly, okay? One more time. Good. Now let's tuck the toes, press your hips back, and let your hips rise up into downward facing dog. Now here we're dialing the hands away from each other. We're still using our finger pads, not the heel of the hand. If your heels come down, great. If they don't, that's also fine. Ground through your great toes and dial the knees away from each other.
Push your hands forward on the mat now and feet back. And once again, you're going to feel that convergence of upper and lower body energies behind the navel in front of the spine. Now let's rise onto our toes. Inhale, shift forward, upper push-up position. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Once again, rise onto the toes, shift forward, and downward facing dog. The whole point of doing what we're doing right now is dial the hands away from each other. Press into your toes to activate the belly. So you have a very strong foot to core. Your toes, especially your great toe, is connected through the inseams of your legs to pelvic floor. So we want practice making that a strong, active connection. Good, let's just do one more. And then we'll come to upper push-up position. Once again, we're dialing the hands away from each other. We're going to bring the knees down now. You can untuck the toes if that's okay in your body. Dial the hands away from each other, looking forward slowly, not all the way down. We're bending the elbows and come about halfway down, and then we'll press back up. We're doing this with hands dialing away from each other. This will kind of automatically tuck your elbows and lift. Again, halfway. Look at where you're gazing. Gaze ahead of your mat a little bit, maybe like a meter ahead of your hands. One more time. And then we're going to shift back to child's pose. Tuck your toes. Come up onto tented fingers now. Press down into your finger pads and energize through your fingers across your wrists like you're dialing the hands away from each other. Notice you can feel the muscles around your shoulder blades coming on. Now we're going to push the hands forward, fingertips forward, and pull the toes back. And again, you're going to feel, oh, my belly is responding to that, so lift your belly just a little. And then we're going to switch our effort. Okay, so start to pull the fingertips toward your body and the toes toward your knees. You'll notice that also connects the body as a whole. Take your breath a little deeper. Lovely. Then plant the palms, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Then bring your knees down. And walk your hands back so you're sitting back over your heels. Lovely. Now, I know for some people, sitting with toes tucked is a very miserable experience. So just do it as long as you can, and also feel free to rise out of your bottom. In fact, we're all going to rise out of our bottom just a little bit for shoulder breathing. All right, this is in and out through the nose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. You can go as fast or slow as your body feels like doing any particular day, okay? In and out through the nose. If you really have severe shoulder issues, you could just raise and lower the shoulder girdle alternatively. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Rise up. Reach, push into your toes. Hold your breath if you can. And exhale. Untuck the toes. And if it's okay in your body, you can rock back and forth over insteps and ankles. But again, if that feels terrible, we can skip it. We are going to be working on feet and ankles in the next few weeks, so hopefully we'll make give you some additional comfort with that. All right, let's take our hands to the mat. We'll go back into table pose. Working on some cross-body connections here. So once again, finger pads pressed down. We dial the hands away from each other. And then we're going to push down into the top surface of the left foot so that we feel that response in the belly. Then take your right foot back. Right leg has to spin inward and down. Good. Now can you press up? Use your right buttock, squeeze it, and lift the right leg up as far as the body allows. At the same time, like if you lift that up a lot higher, your pelvis is probably going to want to dip down. So we're not going to go to that degree. Okay, keep pressing down into your floor leg, your floor hand, and getting that lifting response in the belly. And then left hand can go forward, thumb side up. All right, so hold
your position. Inhale in the center, and then exhale off to the side. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, off to the side. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Let's hold this one in the center. Hold right there. Breathe. And then we're going to take our left palm down, slide the left foot off the mat slightly, and then peel your body open so that your body is facing the right side of the room. You'll find that it makes it a little easier to balance if your floor foot kind of pivots off to the side of the mat. We're not trying to challenge our balance a whole lot right here. So now your floor hand is dialing out. Okay? Press down into the top surface of your floor foot. You can press into your right toes if you want as well. And then spread your left fingers open wide and just enjoy some deep breath here. Beautiful. Now the right hand will return to the mat, right knee under the hip, back to table pose. Pressing down into the top surface of your right foot now till you feel that response in the belly. And then, actually, is it your right leg that goes back this time? Left leg. Okay, thanks, guys. Just it's because I turned to the side. Okay, press down into the top surface of right foot so that, again, you feel a response in the belly. Press into your left palm and your right hand goes up, thumb side up. Very good. So remember, you're squeezing the buttocks on the left hip, and we're not swinging the leg up higher than where the body's own end point is, because we want to hold our pelvis steady, keep the core strong. Let's take a big breath in the center, and then we'll take it off to the side. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, off to the side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, inhale. And take the hand down, sweep the foot off the mat, and then peel the body open, facing the left side of the room. Steady Ujjayi breathing here. We don't have an intention to stretch here. We're pressing down into our floor hand, dialing out, feeling that waking up the muscles around the shoulder blades and the upper back, reaching up with the fingers, spreading them wide. Just enjoy this feeling of expansion. All right, and then the left hand can come down, and you can return to your table pose. Beautiful. Just feel the body for a moment, tuck your toes, and then we'll send the hips back and up to downward facing dog. And then walk your feet toward your hands for some half lift practice here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. So my whole purpose in doing this little half lift practice is so that you get used to quickly finding neutral position for your spine. So let's come up and hold that for a moment. Great toes are grounding here. Knees are dialing away from each other. Your tail reaches back. Your heart reaches forward, and the crown of your head reaches forward. Shoulder blades draw toward each other. Hold for a moment. Keep dialing out through your legs, and then we'll fold forward. Can you find that again? Half lift, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, half lift, and exhale. Inhale, half lift, hold it there. Dial your feet and knees away from each other, squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other, and then raise the arms. Thumbs are reaching forward, and your arms are moving forward a little bit toward the front wall. Tilt your heart up a little bit more. There you go. Squeeze between your shoulder blades. This has to be a very conscious, deliberate action because the muscles between your shoulder blades are phasic. So if you don't ask them to turn on, they're not going to turn on. They're like that. Okay, so now maintain that. Push into your feet a little more. Dial your feet and knees away from each other a little more. Feel strong. And then exhale, let it go. Beautiful. We're going to keep the knees quite bent and the feet apart. Arms wrap around the back of the knees. Fingers can wrap around the elbows if that works, or you can just hold your forearms. This is a very powerful connection, so press down into your feet, especially the great toes. Yes, dial your knees into your upper arms so you can feel that one pressing into the other. Then the arms are going to activate as though you're trying to pull them apart. And now really expand your breath within your body. So you can think about like blowing up a balloon inside of a box. So you want to blow up that balloon into all the corners. Expand into all the corners. In and out. Very nice. Now we'll let the arms dangle. We'll just let it all go. We're going to swing the arms back and then forward and up. Okay, let's bring hands to heart center. So I want you to know that I know a lot of people struggle with low back tension and various issues with the low back. If you're ever having issues with the low back, you're going to go up and down from a forward fold like I just showed you. So let's practice that. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, you can dive forward and down with your arms here. This is usually not problematic for the back. But when you come up, you're going to swing the arms back and then push into your legs and come forward and up. Okay, let's dive forward one more time. When you're ready to come up, swing back and then push into your legs, come forward and up. And then we'll bring hands to Namaskar Mudra. All right, we're going to do some more pranayam, which will be heel lifting pranayam with arms reaching overhead. Once again, if you have grumpy shoulders, you can just do shoulder girdle lifting if you prefer. Okay, we're going to rise right up onto our toes. So inhale and exhale, drop. You can drop with a bit of a jarring motion. This is good for your bones. Four, 3, 2, and 1, rise. Rise up. Pick up your heels. Okay, so now press down into the pads of your toes, starting with the great toe. Press down, and then you're spinning the legs away from each other. There will be no knee locking. Squeeze your heels toward each other, like you're trying to bring the inseams of your legs together. And then start to draw the energy up through inseams, pelvic floor, lower belly. Carry the energy up through diaphragm, heart, throat, crown. Breathe. Beautiful. Let's bring the arms down. Stay with heels lifted. Hands can come to Namaskar Mudra or hips if you prefer. Bending knees and hips and maintaining our toe stand. Press down into great toes. The great toe is what people call the big toe, but it is so important that I think it is great connection to your pelvic floor. So root down into your great toe. Dial the knees away from each other. Squeeze heels toward each other. Now let's try to squeeze the legs towards center without the knees coming in, okay? Bring it in. Breathe. Nice. Now we're going to reverse. We're going to push out. Still grounding and dialing out. Heels toward each other. Knees apart. And we're trying to spread the mat between the feet. Keep the breath steady. Okay, drop the heels, lift the toes, fall forward. Alternate bending and straightening. And then you can let the toes rest down, and we're going to swing the arms back and then forward and up. And hands return to Namaskar Mudra. Let's keep the feet a little closer together. They don't have to be right together. We're going to ground down into the great toes, dial feet and knees away from each other. Knees are unlocked. Inhale, arms to the sides and overhead. Lace the fingers, take the hands to the back of the head. Keeping the chin slightly tucked, we're going to bring the back of the head firmly into the hands, hands into the head. Now, if you have grumpy shoulders, this is very common. You could bring your elbows forward a little more if that feels more comfortable, okay? That usually helps quite a lot. But if your shoulders are quite happy, I would press my elbows back as much as my body would allow. Okay, so as you tuck the chin and press back, you want to feel a response in the upper back, okay? Shoulder blades, muscles below the shoulder blades and between the shoulder blades, all of that. Now press into your feet, do your dialing out, and then inhale, tip over to the left side. Press down a little more firmly into your right foot and reach up through right elbow while you press your head back, hands to head, head to hands, and now become aware of pubic bone to breastbone. We need to turn on the shield of our body. Again, we need to consciously turn it on because these muscles are phasic, so they're not going to just automatically turn on. You have to bring some conscious attention to it. Keep your breath steady. Lovely. Let's come up. Find center for a moment, and then we'll tip over to the right. Press down into your left foot now. We're dialing out with both legs. Reach up through the elbow of your left arm. Pubic bone to breastbone. Keep pressing head to hands. Yes. Lean back a little bit. All right, let's come up. Inhale. Reach the arms and exhale. Let's bring it down. Shrug out your shoulders. Beautiful. Hands at heart center. Surya Namaskar asana. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dive your body forward and down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or hop back to upper push-up position. Into your hands right away. Pads of the fingers pressing down. We're dialing the hands away from each other. Using your toes to activate the belly. Inhale, shifting forward slightly. Good. Bring the knees down. Keep the heart reaching forward. Lower slowly as you dial the hands away from each other. Reach your heart forward. So good. Inhale, lift the heart. Tuck toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, upper push-up. Inhaling. Dialing hands away from each other. Use your toes to shift yourself forward. Bring knees down as you start to exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, lift the heart. Tuck toes, exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, upper push-up as you inhale. Knees coming down, heart is reaching forward. You're looking forward, dialing your hands away from each other. Inhale, tuck toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Stand on your left foot, right foot goes up. Bend your right knee, roll your hip open so that your pelvis is facing toward the right side of the room. See if you can, by pushing down into your left foot and toes, lift your right knee up a little more. And then right foot is reaching back behind you. You're just exploring, do this like a child would, with a sense of curiosity. Now, while we're here, we're going to rise onto our left toes and press down through our heel. So whatever range you have available to you, move in that range. But what I want you to notice is if you're pushing down into the great toe, you'll activate the inseam of your left leg that comes into the pelvic floor and lower belly. Okay, one more time. Let's stay up on our toes. Then we'll bring the right leg under the body, looking forward and stepping your foot through. Good. We'll bring the back knee down for now, and hands can come to the right thigh. Your right great toe is grounding, your knee presses out, and then you're pushing straight back into the toes of your left foot. When you do that, you should feel a little more activity in the leg. And if you want, you can push sufficiently so that your back knee actually comes away from the mat and your knee lifts. And you're really pushing into the toes to to activate the inseam of this leg. Pull that through pelvic floor and lower belly and start to let the energy rise up through the trunk of the body. You can bring your hands together if you like. The elbows could be bent if you prefer, but we're all going to energize through the arms like we're trying to pull them apart from each other. Take breaks if you need. We all, again, it's so important not to try to jump ahead of where your body is at right now. We just want to incrementally give it a little more challenge. Okay, we're going to take the hands back down to the mat, lift and step back for downward facing dog. Great, so just take a breath in downward facing dog. Get yourself organized again, spreading fingers wide, dialing hands away from each other. Standing on right foot, left foot goes up. Bend your knee, roll your hips open so that your pelvis is facing the left side of the room. Pushing down into your right foot to possibly lift the left knee a little more, maybe reaching back with left foot a little more. And then while we're here, we'll rise and fall on the right foot now. So important to make this very strong, established relationship between the great toe and the inseam of the leg to pelvic floor. So let's stay up on our toes. Take another breath here. And then we'll bring the left leg under the body. Look forward. Make sure you're creating some space for yourself here. And then step through. Bring your back knee down and your hands to your thigh. Beautiful. So your front great toe grounds. This knee dials out. That helps you bring your hip back. And then we're pushing straight back into the toes of the right foot. That should turn on your leg. But if you want, you can push a little more and lift the knee. Keep pressing through your toes. And toes are straight forward, not off to the side. Feeling the inseam of your leg is turning on. Pelvis up through the core of the body. Arms can rise up. If you bring fingers together, we're pulling the fingers apart, creating some pulling, which is really, really important for the shoulders. Breathe. And again, let yourself go into a little bit of challenge. You're in a very safe position. You're just giving your body some very clear instruction here. Like, see, this is where I need you to get stronger. And, you're doing it with love. Your body wants to respond to your requests. You can ask nicely. All right, let's let the arms come down. We'll take a step back, this time to upper push-up position. Use the toes to send your heart forward. Dial your hands away from each other. You can bring knees down if you like, or you can move through chaturanga to up dog. Tuck toes, down dog. And we'll be in down dog for a few breaths. So here I want to invite you to, once again, give attention to your hands, press into the pads of the fingers, dial hands away from each other, then press them forward. Same thing with the legs, great toe grounds, knees dial away from each other. We press the feet to the back of the mat. Feel that convergence of energy. It's just such a sweet connection between upper and lower body, behind the navel, in front of the spine. Breathe. You're bringing these upper and lower body energies into the neighborhood of the solar plexus, of the Manipura chakra. So you're connecting, you're remembering your body, you're developing such a profound sense of wholeness through this activation. So take your time. As always, whenever we return to downward facing dog, you can always choose a more restorative posture. Stay super tuned in with yourself without describing for yourself what you're feeling. Just let yourself feel your feelings without a need to evaluate them in any way. Just let them flow through. Now, when you feel good and ready, you're going to plant your palms, take downward facing dog, and then you can make your way back to the front of the mat, walking, stepping, or hopping as you inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Swing your arms back and then forward and up. Inhale and exhale. Namaskar mudra. Beautiful. Let's do some more pranayama. So we're going to have our feet about hip width apart, and we're going to be thumping our chest. So throw your arms open wide, pump with your legs, thump the chest, which I'm not going to do because I'll upset the mic. But one thing I want to make sure everybody does when they do a technique like this is keep your hands spread open wide so that your fascial arm lines can secure the elbow and the elbow doesn't flail about. This can actually cause injury if you have hypermobile elbows. So keep your hands active. This will be protective of your elbows. Keep your eyes open as well. This is not a good idea to do with eyes closed. I know because I've tried it. Okay, let's just do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold right here. Get tall right here in the center, grounding through your great toes, dialing feet and knees away from each other. Get super tall, pull up through the inseams, pelvic floor, lower belly, heart, crown. Drop your shoulders away from your ears, thumbs reaching back. Even gathering between your shoulder blades, consciously bringing those muscles into it. So again, I want to assure you, you are not taking the body anywhere that it cannot go, and you may experience some fatigue and maybe even something that's like, is that discomfort or is it just fatigue? Is that burning? Is that a problem? Not really. Okay, you can handle it. It's good to have these experiences so that your nervous system has more information. That will make it happy. That will give you access to more movement. Okay, let's make sure our breath is really being nourishing for us. Excellent. Inhale, arms rise up, and exhale. Let's bring them back to Namaskar mudra. Beautiful. Let's take up a block. We're going to put the block between the thighs. I have shorter legs, so I like to put it this way. If you're tall, you can put it this way. So feel free to experiment. There's, the condyles of the femur. You don't want it on the condyles of the femur. That won't feel very good. So it has to put it in the fleshy tissue above that. Okay, great. Toes are pointing straight ahead. Wiggle your feet together as close as you can so you really end up squeezing the block, okay? And then we're going to ground through our toes and dial the feet and knees away from each other here. So we're squeezing the block, but we're also activating our external hip rotators, which is going to turn on our thighs and our seat, okay? But also the inseams of the legs. So grounding through your great toes, start to shift your body weight into your forefoot, and then start to lift the heels. Squeeze. Lifting your heels, squeeze them towards center. Your pubic bone and breastbone need to be connected. Now that doesn't mean you're doing a crunch or anything, but we just want to make sure pelvis isn't spilling forward. So connect. Arms rise up. Palm tree pose, fingers spreading wide. Continue to actively lift your heels. You're really working on your foot arches here, so it's going to help you a little bit to squeeze heels toward each other. You're just going to activate more muscles. This is so connected to pelvic floor function, to your ability to maintain walking as you get older, and so many ambulatory abilities. So let's take the arms down now, bring it into Namaskar mudra, bend knees and hips. Keep pressing into the great toe, lift your heels, and let's see about dropping a little lower. Keep squeezing the block here, squeezing the block. It'll be over soon. Okay, block goes away. Drop your heels, wiggle your feet apart. Keep your toes down, drop your seat, drop your seat, drop your seat as far as you can. Wherever your end point is, rise out of it just slightly and hold it right there. Ground through your great toes, dial your knees out and press. Squeeze your pelvic floor. Beautiful. Now slowly, 5 breaths to come up. 1, 2, 3, slower, 4, and 5. I don't know where these evil ideas come from. They just, feet together at the front of the mat. Inhale, arms to the sides and overhead. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or hop back, upper push-up, gaze forward as you lower. So you can call this chaturanga, knees can always come down first. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just give yourself a moment to check in with your hands, dial out, stand on your left foot, right foot comes up. Inhale. Exhale, let's tuck the thigh under the body as we shift the body forward, knee between the arms. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, knee between arms. And hey, if that is just not something that's available to you, inhale the leg back. Exhale, knee between arms. Inhale, reach back. Knee between arms. Okay, one more time. Look forward and step through. Bring your back knee down. Hands to thigh. Good. Great toe grounds, knee down. I wanted to just remind you that wherever you are right now, that will change. That will change. So just be okay. We're like scientists, true scientists. No attachment to results. We're just going to observe what happens. Great toe grounds, knee dials out. Hands come up. Now, can you just for a moment, hands up here, push into your toes, activate your glutes. Your glutes are phasic. They're not going to turn on unless you ask them. They have to be in a very particular position to turn on automatically. So from here, we're going to take the left elbow across right thigh. Before you do anything else, make sure you're pressing the right thigh outward firmly up against the back of your left arm. Right shoulder lifts and rolls back. Now feel your legs. Keep pressing out with the right knee and thigh. Then push back into your left toes. And if you want, lift your left knee. But you can always keep the back knee down and just push into the toes to activate the glutes, okay? Breath is steady. Let's pull this into the belly a little bit more. Remember earlier we were pushing into our feet and toes to create that lifting action in the belly? Yes. Very good. Okay. Let's come out of that, put hands to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment to set up. Ground down into your right foot, left foot goes up. Inhale and bring it under. You're going to keep your thigh close to your chest, knee between arms. Inhale, let's lift it up and back. Exhale, knee between arms. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee between arms. Remember, if that's not available, you can keep one knee down, bring your knee between arms. Okay, gang, this is your last one. Inhale and step through. Bring your back knee down, hands to thigh. Great toe grounds, knee dials out. It's going to help you tuck this hip back, push into the toes so that this lights up the glutes over here. Arms come up. Right elbow across left thigh. First thing we do is press out with this left thigh against the back of your right arm. Enjoy the squeeze in your belly. Left shoulder rolls back. And then push into your right toes. Maybe you're going to take the knee away from the mat. If you do, really firm that leg. Pushing into the toes. Keep the breath steady. See if you can spread it a little further. Spreading your balloon into the corners. Nicely done. Hands to the mat. Stepping back. Moving through chaturanga. Chaturanga can be done with knees down first. Inhale. Lift the belly. Exhale. And then, once again, we're in downward facing dog. Checking in with ourselves. Smoothing out the breath. And now really feeling into the corners, feeling the vibration that all these, mostly isometric, but also moving contractions, they're all sending messages through your body, through your tissues. You're making a request for more strength, more resilience, for adaptation, for healing. As we tension the fascia like we've been doing, we're sending electrons through the tissue via piezoelectricity. This is how healing and adaptation happens. So feeling like really proud of yourself for everything you're achieving here. So now when you feel ready to, walking, stepping, or hopping to the front of the mat, extend your spine as you arrive here. And then exhale, fold once again. Inhale, swing your arms back and then forward and up. And exhale, hands come to Namaskar Mudra. Time for some chair breathing. Let's have the feet about hip width apart. Chair breathing in and out through the nose again. And we're pumping with the arms this way. So inhale, exhale, and you can go to whatever depth your body is excited about. All right, inhale, exhale. These pranayama techniques that we've done so far are really good for re-energizing the body, re-oxygenating the blood. You know, if you're feeling dull and lethargic and just need a movement break, these serve very well for that. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold our chair. Beautiful. Let's wiggle our feet a little further apart. Keeping mostly the great toes pointing straight ahead, okay? Dial your knees out and slowly drop. Now as you're dropping, pelvic floor engages, okay? Engage, engage. Reach back with your tail. Reach back with your tail. Try to keep your toes touching the mat. Pelvic floor engaged. And now start to rise. Slowly push down into your feet. Push down into your feet. Yes. And let's relax. Beautiful. Slow down your breath a little bit. We're going to bring our feet closer together, and we'll do a round of intense healing pose, which we're going to be so good at by the end of this time. Okay, so very simple. We're just going to bring our weight into our left foot, ground down through your great toe, energize like you're dialing the knee outward. There's not much wiggle room there, so you just, for stability, you're going to keep leaning in that direction. If you lose stability, it's going to be this way. So you want to keep leaning into those lateral lines. Okay, so we're grounded, we're tall in this hip. Let the arms hang, and then just bring your right foot forward, toe toward the knee. Yeah, And so now you're going into your inner space. What I want you to notice is like, what's your body's tendency when it's looking for stability? What does it want to do? So often what it wants to do is close in on itself. So I'm going to just tell you a secret that always works, but it requires trust, and that is get taller, get bigger, take up more space. So take up more space, get taller, lift your heart. Imagine your shoulders are really wide, and your body is huge. Let yourself expand. And our whole purpose here, in case it's unclear, is to move through the stages of, first of all, this is easy, to, I really would like to get out of this pose now, to, why are we staying here for so long? To like, I hate this pose. To like, is that my 5-year-old me coming toward me right now? Is this that part of myself that I forgot about? So it is a spiritual practice is what I'm alluding to. Let yourself go into the burning. And just look at how you can stay right where you are through that. This is a very important lesson to learn. And then what's happening to the tissue is huge electron flow, huge message to the body, huge level of organization and polarization of proteins and stimulation of cells creating proteins. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. Great toe grounded, straight ahead. Knee is unlocked, we're getting tall, weight is going into the right leg. We're getting tall, left foot forward, toe toward knee, and just go into concentration. Concentrate on your breathing, concentrate on getting taller constantly. Your pelvis might want to tuck, you might want to go into like almost a red light reflex. Just keep lifting out of it, heart lifting. A lot of people worry that, you go into something of intensity like this and it's going to make your body tighten up. What you'll notice in the aftermath is that everything wants to just let go. That is how the body's wired. After a period of intensity, it's just like, whew, it's happy to let go. It's actually harder to let go if you don't go into intensity like that. You need those peaks and valleys. The higher the peak, the greater the valley. And you can see that we're not putting the body in any danger whatsoever here, but there's going to be intensity. So I think that this makes it such a valuable experience to have, a valuable practice to do. Soften your heart while you get taller, while you get bigger, feeling regal within yourself. Okay, now be the queen of your own life for another couple breaths. Claim your throne. All right, let's put our foot down. Shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out. Okay, now let's do a little bit more balancing. We'll learn something here. So standing on your left foot, we're going to bring up the knee. We'll kind of rush through this first part. So last class we looked at pressing down into the thigh and the thigh pressing up. We saw how that pushing down, the pushing action, activates the front body. Yes, got it. Then we did this, hands around the knee, push the knee into hands, and then the arms are going to pull back. The pulling action activates your back body. Pull. Good also to intentionally squeeze the buttocks over here. Yes, pull with the hands. Okay, so we got that lesson. Let's quickly do it on the other side just for a reminder. Shifting weight into the right foot, picking up the left, push. Now, intentionally, front body. So again, this is like, these are phasic muscles. You have to make them turn on. Okay, and now we'll go here. Push the knee into the hands, pull back. Your upper back muscles are also phasic, so you need to make them turn on. So let's turn on, turn on, turn on. Squeeze your butt on the right. Okay, body is primed. We'll do one more action. Link your fingers to your hands. Pull your hands apart. Drop your shoulders. Make sure knees are unlocked. And then we'll turn the body toward the right. Now while we're here, push down into your left foot, dial out, squeeze your seat, and now actively pull your right hand away from your left hand, squeezing the right shoulder blade toward the back of your left hip. Actively move the shoulder toward the hip. Feel what's happening in your body to do that. Breathe. All right, bring the head around, let the body follow. Switch it up. Drop shoulders, turn to the left. Knees are unlocked, pushing down into your right leg and foot. Squeeze your right buttocks. Pull your left hand away from your right hand. Left shoulder blade moves toward right hip. Breathe. Then we'll bring the head around and let the body follow. So your nervous system was learning, and now we'll give it something to do with that. Let's stand on the left foot. Pick up the right thigh. We're taking our left hand to the outer aspect of the right knee, and we're going to push the knee into the hand and the hand back into the knee. And this is going to make your right shoulder want to move back. Maybe you're going to reach back, and maybe you'll look back too, because your body just got primed for this action. Really push the right knee into your left hand. Hey, if you want to do this with your knee straight, totally fine. Breathe and hold and push and breathe. Good, let's bring the head around. Let's bring the hands to hips and foot to the floor. Standing on the right foot. Picking up the left. Taking right hand to the outer aspect. Hold it in the center for a moment, because you're going to see that the body's going to want to rotate. So let's push first. Okay, and then, okay, yeah, the left shoulder wants to go back. Maybe we reach back, maybe we look back. The looking back is very challenging for people, but we just primed the nervous system to go into this position. So it's quite likely that it will feel much easier than normal. All right, let's bring the head around. Bring hands back to hips, foot to the floor. Let's hop it out. If you don't like hopping like this, feel free to march it out, but it's good to hop and shake things out. All right. Inhale, arms to the sides and overhead. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step yourself back to upper push-up position, and then bring the knees down and then the belly down. Good. I'm going to take my body to the side. Okay, so just bring your elbows under your shoulders. Spread your fingers open wide. Press down into the top surfaces of your feet, such that your kneecaps will probably come away from the mat, okay? That way you know you've got those legs active. Okay, and then you're gonna squeeze your butt. So feet pressed down, squeeze your butt. Now lift your navel away from the mat a little bit. Now lift your heart a little bit. Looking forward, dropping shoulders away from the ears. Even here, as we press down into the hands, we're dialing them away from each other. And then start to pull the hands toward your body while you squeeze your seat, while you press into the feet, while you lift the navel, while you lift the heart, while you breathe. Beautiful. Let that all relax a little. We're going to bring the hands back a little bit. Okay, so you can straighten your elbows. Still, hands are spread apart. We're dialing them away from each other. Press into the tops of your feet such that your kneecaps want to lift. Pubic bone roots, lift your belly. Shoulders away from the ears. Now, keep dialing your hands away from each other. You're going to push them forward. Beautiful. Elbows come out and we'll lay the body down, bending the knees, reaching hands back toward the legs without touching them. Keep your feet pretty close together. Lift your feet up, lift your thighs, reach with your arms as though you might actually grab your legs. One more breath here. And then we'll bring it down. You can stack your hands, take forehead to stacked hands, or turn your head to the side, whatever feels best for you. Maybe you can feel your pulse in your belly right now. Feeling the abdominal aorta pulsating away. Slow down your breath. Beautiful. Now let's begin again. Feet are about the width of the mat apart. We'll begin with the arms like in a T position from the shoulders. So out from the shoulders, and make sure they're not down here. They're here, okay? Yes. Thumbs reaching up a little bit, okay? Thumbs, like kind of rotate your arms so your thumbs come up a little bit, whatever they can do. Yes, you'll have to negotiate with your neighbors there. Okay, so you can lift your legs, squeeze your butt, lift your arms. Now, carefully, you're reaching forward with your thumb side up, and then you're gonna swim through with your thumbs down. Okay, so you're looking forward slightly, thumbs up, swim through, thumbs back. Forward and back. If you find that you can't really do that action because your arms don't want to lift that much, you could always lift yourself onto a block or something so that you have some freedom of movement in the shoulder. We're going to be working on that freedom as well. Okay, one more time. Let's have the arms forward. Hold it there. Tuck your chin. Hold it there. Lift your thumbs as much as you can. And then bring it in. Stack your hands. Rest it out. So, you guys are doing something really, really valuable as a regular part of your life, and that is downward facing dog, where you're loading the shoulders in an overhead position. This is one of the positions that many, many, many people lose because they don't do overhead movement. So it's very common to lose range of motion there and obviously strength. So really good for you. We'll be doing lots of things to maintain that particular position. That's very much associated with longevity. And you know that when you see somebody who can't really move their shoulders like that, that just looks like an old person. It's not about age, it's about capacity, right? Same thing with shoulder checking. If you can't shoulder check, that looks like somebody who's lost their capacity. Okay, that's enough resting, you guys. Hands beside the chest. Lift your heart, bend your knees. This time we will catch hold of insteps or ankles. If that's not really accessible to you, go back to airplane tail pose that we did just a moment ago, because this is a really valuable pose for your whole back body. When we catch the legs, we're starting to move more into the front body. So push your feet into your hands. Lift your thighs. Let your butt squeeze. One more breath. After this one. Then we'll bring it down. Hands beside the chest. Press up and back. Child's pose. Let's put the forehead on stacked hands or on a block, or if it goes directly on the mat, totally fine. We're going to take 3 rounds of Brahmari Breath. Brahmari Breath is in and out through the nose. Exhale is making a humming sound in the roof of the mouth. Tongue can be on the roof of the mouth behind the front teeth. And again, this is not a competitive breath. It doesn't have to be as long as possible or as loud as possible or anything. Just make it very soothing. This is your own signature vibration that you're sending through your body tissues. Nice deep breath in. Inhale.
Exercise ring closed.
One more time. Let's lace our fingers. You might want to move your forearms a little closer to the front of your mat right now before you do that. And your elbows are going to be just inside shoulder width apart. Toes will tuck, and we'll move into Dolphin Pose.
So hips come up. It's more or less like downward facing dog. Now, the beauty of this pose is you're going to really be able to push in with some strength down into the forearms, push your forearms forward, and this will help you move your torso towards your legs while your arms press forward. Again, this is different than, me coming along and pushing you there. Your own body is taking you where your own body can go. And that end point that you're coming to is a really important place to keep strong. So we're going to keep pushing down into our forearms and pressing them forward. And just breathe right there, just building the tissue right there. Press into your toes, lift your tail. Feel again that wonderful connection between upper and lower body, that convergence of energies. You can think of it as the convergence of conscious and subconscious. Beautiful. We'll bring the knees down.
Pads of the palms of your hands can walk back. I'm going to just take it into downward facing dog and then hop through to seated. We're going to take a block again. Actually, have both blocks handy. Okay, we'll put a block between the thighs. And then we'll bring our feet up, hands forward. Now, if you find that this posture, Navasana, is uncomfortable because of your tailbone or something, then I would invite you to just put quite a flat block or a cushion or a towel or something under your tailbone, and you'll probably find it much more manageable. Right now, we're squeezing our feet toward each other. If your feet can touch, you can do that. Squeeze the block, lift the belly, lift the heart. Hold it right here. Beautiful. Bring it down, let your legs straighten, fall forward over your legs, squeeze the block, okay? So here you're gonna dig down into your heels and squeeze the block. Relax that a little bit. Bring your feet in with you. You still have the block. Put it between your knees. Hands will come behind you with fingertips pointing toward the belly. Feet are parallel. Press down into your feet and energize like you're dialing them away from each other. Same thing with your hands. Press down and dial out, and then lift your hips up. Keep pressing down and dialing out, and I want you to really squeeze your seat once you get up here. Squeeze the block, lift the heart, dial your hands away from each other. Nicely done. Bring the pelvis down. Float the feet up. This should help you get a little more pelvic floor activation here. But I did want to teach you a little secret. If you're somebody whose psoas catches fire in postures like this, you could always do this with a strap around your feet instead and really push your feet into the strap to get more of the back muscles working and take some of the stress off the psoas. Oftentimes you'll hear people say, well, don't use your psoas in this posture. I'm sorry, your hips are flexing. The psoas is gonna turn on. That's its job. One more deep breath. Then we're gonna let our legs come down. Once again, we're gonna fall forward. We're squeezing this block and digging down into the heels. Then lift the torso off the legs, bring the feet in, bring them parallel, press into the hands, dial out with the feet, lift. And then as you lift, you're going to squeeze your seat, lift your heart. Very good, let's bring it down. Block goes away. Cross your ankles. Okay, we're going to try getting up. I'm just showing you it's okay to launch yourself if you need to, okay? And if that's not going to happen today, then that's another way of getting up without using your hands, okay? So I just brought my knees to one side, rolled up over my knees, and got up. You can also get up one side at a time. Like if you've got range of motion, you might be able to do this way. Easier on one side than the other. But going for crisscross applesauce, and know that you can launch yourself if you need to, okay? Giving you some life skills. Because like I said, if you live to 110, you don't want to be incapacitated at all. Okay, let's come down onto the mat now. So we're going to make our way there through a pose I like to call canoe. So hands come together, great toe edges come together. Spill the pelvis back, palms are pressing. Keep the chin tucked. Eventually the legs are going to want to pop up, hold it right there. And we're really pushing back. Low spine pressing down through this belly activation. Now hold steady, plant the feet, and then roll your head down. Let's bring the arms overhead. Thumb side down on your arms. Thumb side down. Make your elbows as straight as you can. Yes. And now press into your feet. Become aware of your pelvis. And tend your low spine toward the mat. Okay, so it should make it feel like you just had to turn on those muscles in the front of the core. Okay, so keep them turned on. Don't let go. And then thumb side of your hand is going to push down into the floor. You want to feel that relationship. Like, does my spine want to go into an arch if I press my hands into the floor? So you want to keep tugging down on those lower ribs. Breathe. Breathe into that sensation and the connection. Beautiful. All right, we're going to ease up on all of that. Just keep the feet planted. And now instead of arms overhead, arms are going to be kind of in a T position, and then bend the elbows. So your hands are floating up toward the ceiling, elbows are on the floor. Understand? So your forearm is perpendicular to the floor. Hope that makes sense. Good, okay. Now I want you to really govern your shoulder blades. So tops of the shoulders roll back toward the mat and feel like you really have your shoulder blades planted. Then you're gonna slowly bring the back of your hands toward the floor behind you, yeah? And if you can, without changing your shoulder position, if your hands can actually reach the floor, whether it's knuckles or fingertips or anything, whatever can reach the floor, go there. Maintain your torso position, remember, no arching under the spine, and start to press your hands into the floor. Whatever you can reach the floor with, knuckles or fingers or whatever, press. Keep your breath moving, nice and steady. Just go right into that sensation. And now we'll release that. Good. Now back to your starting position. You're lying on the floor. And now we're going to go in the other direction. Now this is where you're really going to want to cheat, okay? So the top of your shoulder has to keep reaching back into the mat. And then you're going to start slowly bringing the palm down. And this is going to feel probably pretty uncomfortable. It's internal rotation. Did your shoulder pop up away from the floor? Ooh, get it back there. You want to go into the end range of your shoulder socket, not what the whole shoulder girdle can do. Okay, so and you're probably going to be pressing into air. You would not expect to see as much internal rotation, usually, as external rotation. So now you're going to be pressing into air. So tops of the shoulders are pressing back and you're pressing those palms into air. Again, this is not a way you can hurt yourself, so you can push with all your might if you want. This is just you taking your body where it's already ready to go. But you're just becoming familiar with your end points here. Okay, we're gonna let that go, and then we're gonna float the arms back toward the floor, and then back, palm toward the floor, back of the hand toward the floor, palm toward the floor. Really nice. Good. Now bring your attention to your feet. Your arms can come down by your sides, like just hands by your hips or whatever. Feet are parallel, ground down into your feet and energize like you're dialing them away from each other. That's probably already going to make your pelvis want to lift up, so you're going to lift your pelvis. Pressing down and dialing out, lift your pelvis. When you get to the top of where you can lift your pelvis, start to really squeeze your seat and push your feet toward the front of the mat. That's really going to help you lift the pelvis quite a lot more, is activating those back body muscles as you press your feet forward. Front body muscles as well, you can feel some of that in your quads. Breathe. Very good. This is a very, very important posture to practice. I recommend this as like a nightly practice. Let's take one more really deep, nutritious breath here. And then we're going to bring the pelvis down. Pull the knees to chest. Rock your body from side to side. Let's open up the feet and knees, and we'll take the hands around the feet, dropping the knees down to either side of the chest in happy baby pose. So feel free to catch the great toes or the side of your feet, whatever feels best for you. Knees are on either side of the rib cage. Okay, so you're just holding on. What I want you to do first is engage at the pelvic floor. So you should notice that pelvic floor and the deep lower belly want to engage together. They are kind of wired to engage together. Hold that there, and then start pushing your feet into your hands or your toe into your fingers, whatever you're doing, keeping the pelvic floor engaged. Breathe. It's also very good to do as an evening practice. And then we're going to let everything relax. Just let it go. Bring your knees and feet together. Drop your knees over to the left side of your body. Hand might want to rest on top of your right knee. You're going to sink your right shoulder blade. Look to the right. Let your body just relax back into the floor beneath you. Breathe. Now, I don't want to rush you, but if you are ready, you can gather back through the center and then slowly knees to the other side. Right hand on top of the legs if you want. Left shoulder sinks, look to the left. And just breathe. When you feel ready to do so, you can come back to center. Bringing hands around your shins perhaps. You can rock your body from side to side. Then maybe keep your body still and move your head from side to side. And then when you're ready, you can release down into your Shavasana posture. Letting your feet be about the width of the mat, just falling open through the hips. Perhaps tucking your shoulder blades under your body slightly. It's a very good resting position for the shoulder girdle and shoulders. You could always put blocks under your knees. If your low back is prone to a little bit of spasm. Now just going with the breath. Follow the breath as it moves and undulates the body subtly. It's feeling into subtler and subtler levels of sensation. Perhaps you can feel your heart beating. Perhaps there's even a gentle pulsation of your blood circulating. If you keep sensing through that sensation, you may come to more of a vibratory sensation. And just as you start to drift away from sensation, remember your receptive, open stance, open to your body, open to these subtle messages. And I'll call you back when it's time. Let's take some deeper breath. Just remaining relaxed for a couple more breaths. Before you come back to your seat, just once again connect with the part of you that is subconscious, which is really represented by the body, and just send some gratitude there for how the body is even now integrating the benefits of your practice. And it's going to show you things. So when you're ready, you can slowly go to your right side for a moment, if you like, or come up any other way that feels right. And then we'll all meet together one more time on our seats. Once again, let's sit tall, lifting the heart, lifting the crown of your head. As my Indian yoga teacher would say, proud yourself. Loving yourself. And then we'll send out a wish, a prayer, an intention for peace, loving kindness, forgiveness. Let this arise within each of us and spread to those around us, and then to people everywhere. Let's take the mantra Om and Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So we'll begin with a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh out your mouth. Inhale to begin. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for practicing, you guys. Namaste. Namaste to your neighbors. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Are there any questions? Anything come up for you? Yes, please, Janice.
Intermediate steps to get the move where we get up from the cross-legged.
Oh.
Things we can break down and start.
So the question is like, how do we start moving through some steps for getting up and down off the ground? And I think the first step is just know where your edges are. So I would get on a carpeted area in your home tonight, and then the next few nights, and just see like what side is a little bit easier to get up on, what's restricting you from getting up. And then you can start to work from there, because we're doing all kinds of things like the toe standing and the different footwork that we're doing and the squatting and all of that is going to start giving you more range of motion. So, it's not necessarily going to be practicing that particular thing over and over again that's going to get you there. But if you can figure out where the limitation is, then that will help you know like where the work is for you. And then we can start seeing, is there something extra that we can do to get you into that corner? Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes. Okay. That would help me a lot if I have a bit more information about it. Good. Good, Susan? Yeah? All right. Okay, thanks everybody.